Hey beauties, good afternoon to you. Listen to me now, beautiful beauties. One of the things that I'm going to encourage you to do is to not put people on a pedestal. It doesn't matter how sweet, it doesn't matter how nice, it doesn't matter how wonderful they are. Sometimes you end up with people who should not be in your sphere more than a minute, way too long, and those who should be in your sphere you end up shunning because you don't have the gift of discernment. And even if we are talking about Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, you name them, the most wonderful human beings in the world, they're called humans, and people are going to do their peopling. People will fail you. I will fail you. It doesn't matter who the individual is or who the people are. We're innately selfish, innately wicked. The difference between, maybe some humans and the other is that some decide that, I'm going to practice doing good because it doesn't come natural. And for those who serve a God who is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, who is an awesome God, a resplendent God, we decide that, this pleases him. And because I love him, because he first loved us, I'm going to put myself aside. Myself wants to do evil. Myself wants to do wrong, especially towards those who have done me wrong, unwittingly, and or it was not warranted, because of their own envies and jealousies in malicious and malignant ways. It pleases God when I do the right, what he considers righteous. So I'm going to emit respect and love, but I'm not putting you on a pedestal. In other words, I know you will fail. I know I will fail. So I'm not thinking of you more highly than I ought to. I'm going to show you the respect and the honor and the love that God says I ought to. For those who I can have less conversation with, I will. So sometimes when you see people don't necessarily, when we talk about malice here in Jamaica, I'm making a point with this. We talk about not speaking to the person. That's how we look at it here in Jamaica when we say she's keeping or he's keeping malice with me. But malice means something evil with an evil intent, It's really silent treatment, whether it's permanent or semi-permanent or maybe just temporary, But sometimes people may pull back a little bit. We have to be careful when we do it because they want to know that their heart is healed before they can actually exchange words with you. So sometimes it's not malice in the way that you're thinking. Sometimes they just need a moment of silence. A moment of, let me pull back a bit before I approach this human being again. Because I don't want to develop bitterness and resentment or hate or murder in my heart towards that person or towards those people. So sometimes it's not malice in the way that you think. Malice has to do with evil intent. It's not what we call it here in Jamaica when you're not speaking with somebody. And in some cases, I can understand when some people pull back for a moment. I don't believe it must be extended, where years pass and you don't even say hello to somebody. But that's another topic. It's a very deep one and a web-like one. But don't put people on a pedestal. Respect people, honor people, treat people the way you want to be treated. One of the most difficult things that I've had to do is to love those who are hateful, those who are evil, and those who are wicked. You generally find them in like workplaces and churches and so on, and they carry it like they're determined. They carry the hate no matter how many years pass, and even if you're not doing them anything. As a matter of fact, you wonder to yourself, it seems as if when I don't do anything to them that's bad, or I'm not really in their sphere, it seems to infuriate them, where they still hurl darts like the devil. They carry out the duties of the devil. They carry out the duties of the unholy spirit, the duties of the fruitless spirit, and so on. And you wonder to yourself, but I think God allows these things sometimes because he wants to keep us on our toes of prayer. That prayer is permanent in our life, that we don't stop praying. We just keep praying. And when our prayer life kind of drops, we say, all right, I have to go allow the enemy to juke them in the side a little bit or juke them on the butt a little bit. Right? So you just have these seemingly everlastingly long people who take you on as an enemy. I tell people the only enemy or enemies that I have is the devil and the demons. there's enmity between us. There's no reconciliation. And there's something with women, and that God has just imprint upon us, or embedded in us, where there's just this hate relationship between us and the devil. And so those are my only, but you have to take me on as an enemy. So those human beings who decide that they want to be a permanent enemy, we're going to outlast one another. That may I tell you, you're not going to outlast us. We are going to outlast you. We are going to have the last laugh as well. The Bible says, touch not the Lord's anointed, nor do his servant or prophet any harm. I want you to remember that. But beautiful people, do not put, I don't care how nice the individual is. You have people who are, for example, very narcissistic, and a lot of people do not have discernment, and they can be very, very nice when they come out in public, but there is that one person that they treat badly, and I'm talking about somebody who has never done them anything. I've experienced that, still experiencing it. I can tell you that. I can write, and I have written a book on it. Evil. You don't have to do them anything. They will find ways, and they will mask it from the crowd. And people will, one of the things that I said I did a video on, people will laud and praise them, and people will put you down, and you're the one who, if lauding and praising should come, it really should come to the victim, I call it, not the perpetrator. But we have our signals crossed, mixed. I heard a lady say the people, so we have some people in our space that we should actually get rid of, and those who have gotten rid of those who should be in our space. So in other words, people have some people who just get up and decide to be nasty to people, treat those people very bad, especially women against women, not knowing that if they had done the opposite, that human being would have been the best human being in their lives. As a friend, they would be like Joseph. Because of Joseph, his uncle Laban was blessed, and they thwart that. So God said, okay, because one of the things that God does, he doesn't force, he gives you choices. There are many friendships that people have annihilated before it even begun, because of their own jealousies and envies, not knowing that this person would have been the good human. A perfect example is David and Saul. David would have been the best, one of the best friends, servants, mentee that Saul could ever have. He could have ever had. And he thwarted that. He could not hurdle his jealousy and envy. David was excellent to him. I'm telling you, I'm living a David story. For years the man tried to kill him. You have people like that in real life. For years. Day in, day out, the man couldn't stop pursuing the man to kill him. Can you imagine that? This person who, when an evil spirit came upon the man, or when he became, whatever was wrong with him, you have different versions that says things, different things. David would play his harp, and it would leave. David showed the man respect, love, and honor, that even when he was dead, he didn't only mourn for the son, his best friend Jonathan, he mourned for Saul. And when Mephibosheth, when they found him from Lodebar, David said, I'm going to give you back all of what belongs to your grandfather. What a man. What a man. If Saul could have come out of himself and look on, he would say, my God, what have I done? What have I done? This is one of the best human beings in my life. This is a loyal and a devoted man. And this is what I've allowed my own envies and jealousies to thwart that. This person who has been good to me, I can tell you that I know that story has to be true. Because I faced it, still facing it. Evil. And other people, when they look on, they think that these are nice people, and they're not. Because I tell you, if you're a good human being, you're good to all, even people who are not nice. I'm not saying that at times you're not going to get upset and get flustered and get incensed or infuriated. That's unrealistic. That's not reality. We're humans. We have all human feelings and emotions. But I'm talking about somebody who deliberately, consciously, intentionally practice to do wicked against somebody. Feet that rushes to do evil. Evil people. And they feel that sometimes you don't know them. In leadership, in not and so on. Evil. No put a soul upon no pedestal. Respect people, love people. That's how God says you ought to. But know that they're humans. And they will fail you. Know that they're humans and they will fail you. Word to the wise is sufficient out of the day. Follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share